My husband and I met when we were 8 years old. We were in Mrs. Anderson's 3rd grade class, so we've known each other for over 25 years.
We went to the same elementary, middle school, high school. We went separate ways for undergrad, and I reconnected 2 or 3 years after we graduated.
It was just like one of those things, hey, let's hang out, let's go out together, and we did. I was with my girlfriends, and he was supposed to bring his guy friends, but he showed up by himself, and just from then on, he's never left my side. We realized that we had so much in common. We loved to travel. Our goals just aligned in life, like what we wanted our family to be like, and where we wanted to go. So he was the perfect partner. And when he finally proposed, both sides of our family were ecstatic, and the wedding was perfect. We even had Mrs. Anderson, our 3rd grade teacher, there.
It made for a very unforgettable experience.
When I found out that I was expecting, we were thrilled.
It didn't really set in because it took like 3 years, I think, because we struggled with it.
We waited until Mother's Day to tell our moms that they were going to be grandmas. I found out that I was in labor when my water broke at 3 in the morning on December 23rd, and that's when the charge nurse checked me and I wasn't even dilated. We waited a little bit longer. I got to 2, and they finally said, okay, we're gonna start you on some Pitocin. So after 32 hours of labor, they're like, okay, we can do the C-section. So finally they came in, and it was 11:45 p.m. Christmas Eve. And from there, they took Penny out. She came at 12:13 a.m. and we were thrilled. I can't even explain what was going through my mind, but she was here. I heard her cry. We waited so long for her to come, and all I could do was stare at her, and the nurses took her, and I'm looking to the side and watching the nurses take care of her, and I'm like, what's her score? I want to know if she's healthy. And she was perfect. And they said that it would be like a slight massage, and they put everything back and sew you up, and that's that. So I'm laying there like, okay, this is not the massage that I was thinking that it would be, because my body is moving back and forth, and all I could think was like, this is not normal. And I started to feel cold and started to shiver, and all of a sudden I felt like I wanted to go to sleep.
I remember thinking to myself, like, this is taking a long time. And I remember near the end, Jane was in a lot of pain.
Through like my peripheral vision, I can see a bunch of doctors rushing in.
And the nurse came to me and was like, hey, do you want to go with your daughter, or do you want to stay? And then I remember asking Jamie, he was like, do you want me to go with Penny, or do you want me to stay? She's like, don't leave. At some point I heard something about the bleeding and trying to stop the bleeding, and I'm like, oh God, what's going on? She's like, I don't want to die. And I'm like, of course, I don't either. And as soon as she said that, I remember looking down, and I had to look away because I couldn't show her that I was concerned. On the inside, I was so scared. She's asking me, am I okay? Am I okay? I'm like, yeah, you're great, you're great. I couldn't show her in my eyes that I knew something was wrong. And I remember looking down because I had to look away. I couldn't look at her at that point. And I looked to my right, and I looked down, and I remember seeing this bucket, and it was full of blood. And I was like, that's when I knew, like, something was really, really wrong. When I saw that, I knew that it was a blood issue. The hand she was holding of mine, I've never felt her squeeze my hand that hard. And I knew that whatever they were doing must have been hurting her a lot. I looked at the ground in the same direction I did the last time, and now the thing was full, and it was all over the floor. And they asked her, like, do you want a blood infusion? And they're telling me that she lost half her blood supply, like she needs one. Thankfully, whatever everyone did, all the doctors did, it worked. It absolutely worked. And I'm over the moon thankful that the outcome ended positively. And after that all was done, they took her out to ICU.
The first person that I wanted to see was my mom. I was traumatized because I didn't have my baby, and You just want your mom's touch and that hug and kiss to tell her that everything's gonna be all right. And even though she was saying that I was going to be okay, I didn't believe it.
She broke down. It really hit home for her at that point.
The first time I got to hold Penny was a day later after being in the ICU, and I remember her putting her in my arms and thinking like, wow, like this is really mine.
It's just so natural because she just curled up crying on Jamie's chest, and just everything about it was right. I was so excited to finally go home and enjoy being a new family of 4, because we count Teddy as our firstborn.
So the holidays have a different meaning for us today. It's not just Christmas, it's not just Penny's birthday, but I survived. I got to become a mom. It's one big celebration of getting to experience this. I think about that time where I was in the ICU and that I almost wasn't her mom, and how lucky we are to be there for Penny.